Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Happy AF. This is episode 6. I'm Maxine. I am happy alcohol-free.
And I'm Isabelle, and I'm happy as fuck.
And we are so happy you are with us on this alcohol-free journey. Our community is really growing, and we are so grateful for you being here, for listening, for sharing in our experiences and sharing your stories. And it's great just to be together in this space and part of this movement. And today we want to talk about resolutions that we make in the new year and what January means for a lot of people. But as always, we have to start with, what are we drinking?
Oh, yes. So we're drinking your favorite, actually.
This is absolutely one of my favorite
Your
reds.
favorite. And by the way, I'd like to, before I say what we're drinking, to preface it as just like wine with alcohol, there's certain wines you're going to like and others are not, you're not going to like, and they're equally good. So
Yes.
you love that Odd Bird, which is a Grenache Syrah
blend, yeah.
I like it. It's organic also, I believe. I like it. I don't love it as much as you do, simply because this is a Saint-Chinian, which was not my thing as I was drinking wine.
Yeah.
And very funny, I blind tasted that. And I liked it, but I was like, and then realized it was a Saint-Chinian. So it's in line with my alcoholic taste. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for those who like Saint-Chinian, we like Côte de Rhône.
Yes.
That's definitely in line with that. And actually for this time of the year, I do like it more because it's kind of round in your mouth and it's cold outside and it's snowy. So
and
it's a
I
good
also
red.
love, this is also a wine that I feel is very good without food.
Absolutely.
Right? I will sit cozy on the couch when I'm binge watching, which I allow myself to do on the weekends. I'm binge watching right now.
What are you binge watching?
Black Rabbit. Have you seen this?
With Jason Bateman?
Yes.
I watched it. It's really good. I love a limited series. I love a
limited series
because
too.
it's like you bang it out, you're done, you move on.
And I can watch set myself aside 2-3 hours and I'm watching it and drink an entire bottle.
I do. Oh my God, that's the thing.
Non-alcoholic wine.
I
guess
drink a
what?
whole bottle.
We talked about this at one point too. It's like, that was one of my tells about getting drunk on the couch.
Right.
Was I would go back to watch a TV episode and be like, did I watch this one? I don't think, what happened? Did this happen?
Or especially if you, now I'm going to sound like a snob, which I can be, but I drank expensive shit, right? I did the 4-year sommelier and all that. So and the more you drink expensive stuff and the more expensive the stuff gets, because then that $50 bottle of wine is not that good. You're so your run of the mill is $100. I mean, it gets stupid. My point is, and you also don't feel as crazily wasted the most expensive the wine. I'm sure it's in our heads.
Maybe.
But it works. But the thing is, you are still drunk. So I would easily polish a good bottle of Chablis by myself. And then it's 4 o'clock and you've drank the whole bottle and you realize it's empty and you're like, fuck. So you go to the bin. I don't know if you've done that. Now that I hide stuff, it's almost hiding from yourself, and you put it in the recycling, making sure you don't make any noise. It doesn't go cling so that you're my husband would know I drank it. He sees it. But there's a thing about the cling.
Yeah, there's just something about the shame of I think what you just said is right. It's yourself.
Yes.
Right? You're like, shit, that's a lot that I drank this much wine and it's only 4 o'clock.
Right.
But this I love. This is our first red that we've tasted.
Yes.
And a lot of people have now start to ask me, well, can you make recommendations? People who are starting this journey, either starting dry January or, they're like, what do you like? And I think it's widely accepted that red wine is the least, the one that's been done least successfully.
Really?
I think so.
It's so funny you say that. You're probably right. I don't know that fact at all, right?
Yeah.
I don't know either way. The reason I'm reacting to it is because when I give my drinking friends white and reds that are non-alcoholic,
Yes.
they all go ugh at the whites,
Oh,
but they're
interesting.
all okay with the reds. So my thing is not scientific. Like I
Right.
didn't
No,
read, it's
and
just
I don't think mine is
right.
either.
No, but
I'm
I
just
think
talking about
I
things that I've
know
read
you
where
might,
there people talk about,
think,
they've not got red right yet.
right. And I think I might have heard that too. I
Yeah.
think I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that in the field,
Yes, yes,
in
yes.
my lab.
Yes, exactly. Your experience, my
in
experience.
my lab. So when I had subjects from all over. So
You did a
everybody,
blind study.
yeah, blind study.
A
I
blind
just-
twin study.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so they all seem to like not freak out on the reds and be like, oh, I could drink this. And actually, you know, I told you my story about Hildinas. I made a new friend.
Yes.
So a friend of Sarah's, our common friend,
Yes.
Abby, who's, you also know Abby.
Yes, yes, yes.
Was not drank for 3 years. Abby's so awesome. I love Abby especially because I walked in and she's like, "You look gorgeous." I was like, "I like you." And
You are gorgeous.
She drank some of the wine that I had brought.
Yeah.
And she's like, "That's too close for me. I can't drink that." She's like, "I haven't drank wine in 3 years." She's like, "It's really good, too close." Right? For some people,
Yep.
it is too close.
100%.
Right.
And again, as what we're talking about on this podcast, day in, day out, and on my little platform and in this part of this movement is everybody is on a different place on the spectrum.
Right. Correct.
And we've got, you know, remember a couple of episodes ago, I talked about my aunt who's probably had 6 glasses of wine in the entirety of her 70 years on the planet.
Correct.
And then there's addicts who have battled and
Like
come close to
your
death, like
brother.
my brother. And then there's everybody in between. And wherever you are on that, it's what's comfortable for you. I have a friend who can do easily no alcohol-free beer, like the non-alcoholic beers. But he's like, no. If you give me an NA gin and tonic,
It's too close.
he's like, that's too close.
That's too
for me,
close,
I like
right.
start getting like a little heebie-jeebies. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Right.
For me, and you and I have talked about this a lot. I'm somebody who can drink anything, you know, and non-alcoholic and not have any trigger or any correlation. And I
Same.
find myself very, very lucky about that.
Yes.
And I also continue to, I don't know why I continue to do it, but every now and again, if Andrew's having something fabulous, I'm like, let me taste it.
Oh my God, I can't do that.
And I have done it. And every single time it is
didn't like
just,
it.
I'm like, I don't like it.
But then
and
stop
I can't,
doing it.
Well, because
You're curious.
I'm curious. I'm
Right.
curious about how my body has gone from the one that would, I mean, I was the wine snob asshole.
Right.
Where I was like, I'm in it, I'm holding it, I'm smelling it, I'm squishing it around in my mouth. I am loving every single feeling of it. And I cannot believe that now I live a life where I'm like, ugh, that does not feel good in my mouth. It doesn't
Right.
feel good to my nose. It doesn't feel good when I swallow it on my throat. It's like, I have a bad reaction to any kind of real alcohol
You're
now.
good. You're lucky because I think in my case, I won't try it, and I would not try it simply because whenever I would moderate, meaning, okay, I took a month off
Yes.
once,
Yes.
twice,
Yeah.
and after that, you know, I would try, okay, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then just white knuckle my way through Thursday, but that's not long enough. But let's say I did the twice that I did the month. The first sip, like you, would be like, but my brain was like,
Triggered.
I already knew, like,
yeah.
like that from that first sip, even though in my mouth it wasn't a party, my brain was like, that glass of wine is
Yeah.
gonna go down in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it would. And then like, let's say I would be like, okay, and I read there's a whole science behind that, but so apparently it's a whole brain reason. But let's say I'd be like, okay, from now on, since I didn't drink for a month, I'm just gonna drink 2 glasses, you know,
Yes.
a day. And that would be okay for like 4 days, and after that, 2 glasses
It's just
wouldn't
not enough
quench
anymore.
me.
No,
Yeah,
it's
right.
because it's
So,
what you're
I think everybody, like you said, is
It's your
on the different
tolerance
spectrum.
is different as well.
Right. And
Yeah.
so same with NA wine. Some people, it's like, man, it's way too close. Or like for me, it's become
Yes.
a crutch.
Yes.
I don't think it's an addiction, but there's a form of addiction to my NA wine. I
Yeah.
need to have pretend wine in a good glass.
Yeah.
It gives me the dopamine I need and every shit I need to feel good.
Well, and it's
that's
something
it.
good that you feel
Right.
like you're doing for yourself, right?
Correct.
And it's the ritual. And I feel like the biggest success for me going alcohol free just stopping, never looking back was we now live in a world where we can replace it with
Absolutely.
something
Right.
that is equally special. I go to the lovely wine store.
Mm-hmm.
I pick out a nice bottle. I put it in by the way, do you like these?
Love it.
These are Waterford
Gorgeous.
crystal.
Right.
They are, I get to use all my crystal that I have collected my whole life.
Otherwise, like you're right. For me, and it's not true for everybody, but for me and you, it appears that there's giving up alcohol, which was the addiction. But if I had to give up everything else, the ritual, the glasses, the shopping for the wine, the going to the wine parties, it'd just be too much.
Yes, you would have to take yourself out of it.
I'd be like, fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll die of it.
Yeah.
So whereas for me, and it seems to you too, these replacements make it that all we had to do is get rid of the physical addiction.
Yes. Yes.
Right? We can still live in the world of.
Correct.
Right?
And
Which is
also
nice.
feel good and feel like you're a part of it. You know, another motivation, again, people keep asking me why. Like, why are you doing this podcast? Like, don't you have enough shit in your life to do? And the answer is yes. But I feel like it's so important for us to keep having this conversation in order to normalize it, right? It's normalizing not drinking is the messaging. I'm not saying everybody should not drink. I'm not like one of those crazy, we should live in a world of temperance.
No.
What I'm saying is if I fucking choose not to drink, don't make me feel weird about it.
And, it's funny you said that. So the reason that I was like, yeah, doing a podcast is a great idea. You're so altruistic. You're thinking about everybody else. Me, I was just thinking of myself. I remember before I met you wanting to talk. I Googled alcoholic groups in Dorset, Manchester.
Yes.
Not AA, because I was like, that's not
I don't
my
want to do that.
tribe.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find I couldn't find anything that was like, and plus, like, I don't want to adhere to a schedule. I just want to go when I can, right?
Yeah.
And so there was no great alcoholics like me on a flexible schedule. And you popped around. I was like, there goes my free therapy. I can just talk to her. That's great. I don't need a room of people. I just need, and plus you want to put a microphone? Yay, sign me up. So that was my motivation.
Oh my God, I love it.
You're thinking of the world. I'm like, fuck that, man. I got me covered.
Well, listen, there's a huge amount of selfishness in this for me too, because I love it. It's like when I was texting you this morning when we were getting ready for this,
at like 4:45.
I am very lucky. I know. Our 5 a.m. text exchanges are the fucking best.
That's so funny.
And you're like, I'm like, who's up? Isabelle's up. Isabelle's up. And she's gone, like already done an hour of work like me.
That's right.
But like I was thinking about this morning, I am somebody who I'm very fortunate in that I get to do what I love as a singer, as an actor. Like I didn't for a long time. It's not that I hated being a lawyer.
You were a lawyer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate being in corporate America. I didn't at all. I made
can just see you.
fucking boatload of money.
Like I could see you in court, like it's like a theater, and I would like to present the evidence. And sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Judge.
I mean, in law school, in bar school in London, like my favorite was the moots, which is
What's a moots?
A moot, M-O-O-T.
Oh.
It's when it's like a live debate situation.
I'm sure.
And I'm like,
why am I
bring
not-
it. And then they were like, well, this one is going to be on camera. I'm like, woo, fantastic.
And let me show the evidence.
I mean,
God,
so when
it.
I went into the working world out of college, I actually wasn't. I wasn't doing audience. Like I wasn't doing rights of audience. I was working in-house. And I didn't hate that. I didn't hate it. But you know what I didn't have? I knew it wasn't my calling. Like,
Right, I understand.
I was good at it and I was making a lot of money and it was a really great time in my life and I made a lot of great friends through it. But now I live in a world where what I do as a singer and as an actor is what I believe I was born to do, right? I'm good at it and I love to be able to do it. But this podcast has become one of those things for me.
Really?
Like when I was texting you at 5 o'clock this morning, I was like working on what are we going to talk about today? And I was like, I'm so fucking excited to do this. Like coming in here to the studio and talking about this, you and I as friends, I get so much joy out of it.
It is fun. And it's funny because every time you send me like what we should talk about, I have anxiety in the sense I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm always like, what am I going to say?
And
My
by the way,
husband,
every single episode up to now, I've been like, we're over. We're over.
that's
We
what
need to wrap it up.
I told my husband the other day, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, you could talk about beige paint for like 2 days. You've got something to talk
Okay,
about.
so I'm gonna in my Maxine friend therapist mode again.
Right.
I'm gonna say to you, the hell will freeze over when you run out of things to say.
When both of us.
Both of us. Oh my
By the
God!
way, there'll be hell, and you'll hear, hey, you know what? I discovered a new NA wine. It's fucking great. It's like Ice Age. We're covered in ice. Can you just hear our mouth? Hey, man, I need to tell you something I found out.
You're like, don't worry, Maxine is here.
That's funny.
So yeah, but so one of the things I did want to talk about today is like, for me, I used to go into every single January for as long as I can remember. January 1, or I would say I can't do it on January 1 because January 1 is New Year's Day and I've got to drink on that day.
Right.
So I'm like, and then if it happened to fucking fall on a weekend, I'm like, well, it can't start on a Saturday.
Right, no.
So whatever the first Monday in January was, that would be me. Every single year, I'd be like, okay, this is the year I'm going to drink less. And I would start off so well.
You would?
Oh, yeah. The first like 3-4 weeks, you're like,
was that your only resolution, the booze thing, or were they other? Were you
oh,
a
no.
multi-resolution type?
I should someday show you my journal because at the beginning of every year, to be honest with you, the beginning of every week, I have a very, very long list of things I would like to accomplish.
And it's all written underline, and then like by the end of the month, it's like off the line.
No, so I used to always have a huge list of goals, actually.
Oh, wow.
Or resolutions as they were. I've now completely just reframed how I talk about it. Instead of resolutions, instead being, which are typically stop doing something that's bad for you.
Right.
Completely flipped that entire script around for me into I want to do more of these things.
Got it.
And that are good for me.
Right.
But the problem when you think about resolutions, and I read this just yesterday, 80% of people fail their New Year's resolutions by the first week in February.
Well, yeah, because it
80%.
requires willpower. I think, and Annie Grace said that, and others, like willpower is a muscle that fails very quickly.
Yep.
It doesn't work. I think you have to have lived something to the point where you get sick of it. Or, for instance, like we take the Annie Grace books for an example. That's what made me quit. I was not reading it to quit at all.
Yes.
I was reading it to maybe do another bloody 30 days.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was done reading it, I was like, fuck, I can't drink anymore. So I think either if you hit a place in your life where you're like, I can't live with this anymore. Or if you understand, for me I'm kind of cerebral in that way. If I understand something very well in a pragmatic way.
Yes.
And I'm like, fuck, that's a fact, right? So once I understood how my body was doing what with alcohol, like why I couldn't stop at one glass, why I couldn't skip a day.
Yes.
And I could correlate it with what was going on in my brain. Once I knew, I couldn't unknow it. So it had broken it for me. I couldn't drink anymore. But unlike you, I was never a resolution kind of girl. I was a 2-pack a day smoker. When I quit smoking, it was not on a New Year's Eve. Actually, unfortunately for my family, I decided to quit smoking on the 23rd of December and not tell anyone. I was a raving bitch.
That must have been a fabulous Christmas, New Year's for your family.
Bitch. Actually, that should have been on one of the worst Christmas. I made everybody crazy. I forgot about that one. You know, sometimes when things are so bad, you block them out.
Yeah.
Because on that one, I was the asshole.
And that was quitting smoking.
Yeah, I have a lot of funny stories about quitting smoking, but one of which, oh my God, it took me 2 years. We're talking about quitting things.
Yeah.
So it took me 2 years to quit smoking. I was like a chain smoker. And I remember when I was smoking Gauloise in Montreal. And when I moved to New York, I was smoking Marlboro Reds. And when I wanted to be good, I would switch to Marlboro Mediums.
Wow.
And so I would like start in the morning and finish at night. I mean, 2 packs. And so the 2 years, I have funny stories. So I tried cold turkey. That was a bad idea. By the time it was 9 a.m, I was breaking in sweats. I was dizzy. I was nauseous. So no. Then this was in the 90s. Then I went to hypnotherapy. And, I didn't have a lot of money. I was like 28 years old. And it was like $350. I'll never forget, Midtown Manhattan. I'm sitting there and I'm one of those who doesn't get hypnotized. I didn't know that at the time. I don't pass out. I just don't, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, it's $350. God damn it, I'm fucking sleeping. I'm fucking sleeping. Like the whole time. I walked out of there after 2 hours. I gave in. I bought cigarettes. Another time, I went to...
God, and you come in like, can I want my money back?
There was a thing called Nicotine Anonymous. I don't know if it still exists. It was in the 50s around 6th Avenue. It was in the 90s. I'll never forget. I'm like, I'm going to go to a meeting. So I go to Nicotine Anonymous. I walked out of there and I was like, I think I'm going to start doing heroin. It was so depressing. So depressing. It was like the most depressing.
God, I'm so curious. What are the 12 fucking steps of...
I don't know, but those were depressing. I mean, people on oxygen that couldn't quit. I mean, it was just bad. It was so bad.
You're like, I'm now suicidal.
Oh my God. I was suicidal walking out of there. I was like, fuck it, I can't quit. And then I had tried the inhaler. I tried acupuncture. That was really funny. So they did acupuncture. It was in Soho.
I hate acupuncture.
Traumatic things like would always... So I was in Soho and walking out of there, they put little beads in your ears, okay? They're supposed to be acupoints. And if you crave cigarettes, you're supposed to push on them. They're little like stainless steel beads. I push on them motherfuckers so much that I poked a hole in one of my ears, okay? I was like, oh my God, right? Like so bad. Then I went on the patch. I was on the patch, and obviously, like, it was called Nicoderm or something like that, and there's 3 steps. And when you're 2 packs a day, you're supposed to start with Big Mama's patch for like 10 weeks or something. And of course, I was like, fuck that, man. I would start at step 2, like, I'm going to make it hard for myself, man. So I would start.
You're like, I want to challenge my challenge here.
I'm doing this thing in 1 month. So you know, they say, oh, you can't smoke on the patch. You could give yourself a heart attack. Well, watch me, baby. I would put that patch on
listen,
in
you
the
are
morning.
here to tell the tale.
Yeah. I'd go to a bar at 5 in the afternoon with my friends, and you're like, fuck that. Rip the patch, smoke all night, get home to Harlem in these days, drunk as a skunk, feel bad, put the patch back on. So I would go to 2 to 3 patches a day and smoke. Okay. So
I mean, that was just not smart.
No,
because you're spending the money on the patches.
I was drinking through it too. If I could have smoked the patches. So one day, the last of this is pretty funny. And I think that was the wake up call I needed. So I was living in Harlem in the 90s because I dated a guy who lived there. We broke up. He cheated on me. So tossed the guy, and I didn't have enough money to move back downtown. So I'm like, fuck it. Right. And it was not necessarily safe. And so one day, again, I toss the cigarettes. I'm done smoking. I go out, get wasted, smoke again, go home. And I'm like this tiny little thing. I go to bed in my little negligee, whatever, kind of drunk. And I had got in a fight with a boyfriend, whatever. And I'm like, fuck it, I need a cigarette. And it's like 2:30 in the morning. It's summertime, right? Or 3, whatever. I get up at night, a little buzzed. Go outside my little negligee.
Oh my gosh.
Harlem is deserted. There's nobody, right? And I'm like, I think this is a fucking smart. And I'm going to go dig out my cigarettes in the garbage can outside, right? So I'm digging for my cigarettes at 3:30 in the morning, okay?
In whose garbage can?
The buildings. Right? To look for my fucking cigarettes.
Oh my God. Are you at least inside?
No, outside.
You're
outside. Yes.
Holy
right?
shit.
No, I was a little drunk. So check this out. So I'm like deep in my thoughts looking for my pack of Marlboros, and I hear, oh yeah, man, I know what that feels like, man, yeah. And I turn around, it's a local crackhead, man. Local crackhead was empathizing with me.
And he was like, I hear you, sister.
He's like, I got you, baby. You need help. Like, I was like, fuck, man, I need to get out of this train. That was my cigarette story. I don't know how we got on that. So
Okay, no. I love that story so much. And it is so connected to, I mean, you're not going to believe the story I'm going to tell now that I had forgotten until you just told that story.
Tell me.
But cheers to being able to look back on that shit and laugh your ass off. Because by the way, and I think about this all the time.
What?
You could have fucking died.
Oh, no shit.
Like, seriously, in your little negligee, kicking in the garbage in Harlem in the 90s.
Absolutely. You know what else?
That you're alive is a miracle.
Another thing, don't forget your story. Same area of New York City, same time of 2002 maybe or whatever. Drunk. Got on the train, got in a fight. No, it must have been like 1999. Same boyfriend, Puerto Ricans. Don't like Puerto Ricans, but it was a rough relationship. We get in a fight. We're both drunk in the cab. I'll never forget. We're on 7th Avenue and 34th Street, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, okay? And I think, fuck him. I get out the cab,
Oh,
and I get on the train, the subway,
Ah!
to go home to Harlem. And I was drunk, so I fell asleep on the subway. A single
Okay.
woman
So
by
again,
herself.
lucky.
Woke up in South Bronx at like 1:30-ish, 2 in the morning. Woke up for those of you who don't know, South Bronx, not super safe in the 90s. I don't think it's safe now either. Not
No.
the best place. I mean, that I'm still like
Alive.
that I still had my wallet, that no one jumped me. And I remember I had to get off the subway. It's one of those that you have to go outside to go back down,
Oh.
that you can't just go inside. So I had
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
outside on the street at 2 in the morning. This is like where all the drug dealings, all the shit.
Yeah,
Oh my
You're
God,
like,
ridiculous.
oh
But
my
what's your
God.
story?
So it's the going outside after the night has ended.
Right.
Is like
What
so
did you do?
That was my thing, right? So, we talk often about the eating and the drinking
Yes.
and how you balance those things.
Right.
So I famously, for my whole life, I have been battling up and down weight.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, while we're talking about it, this is the first time I can remember since I was in my early 20s where I have stabilized my weight.
Correct. No
In the last
booze.
year, it's because it's no
Right.
alcohol, right?
Correct.
Completely stabilized.
Right.
I haven't changed much else in my life, but it's been amazing. But so when constantly battling, putting on too much weight, knowing that I would be going out to drink,
Mm-hmm.
I would not eat because I'm like, no. I can't be
I'm
having
gonna
the
drink my
calories of this food. So I need to save the calories so that I can drink the calories.
Oh, I have a story on that. Remind me after.
So I famously, amongst this group of us that used to hang out in New York City, it was our Sex in the City days, right?
Right,
I mean,
of
we're
course.
talking 2001, 2002.
Heyday.
I was, heyday. Thin as a
Meatpacking-
rail,
meatpacking
like
district was still
meatpacking
cool.
bungalow 8.
Oh
like,
my God.
remember?
The tunnel.
I mean, all of those
Oh my
times,
God.
pastis, Balthazar.
Lord.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just,
Yeah.
that was my life.
Right.
That was my life. And I was a hot shot making so much money. And we had this great group that we would just go out all the time. Anyway, I was the person who would get, drunk. All of us, we get drunk, but we go home, and I just developed this reputation and I don't know how my friend at that time, in the mornings, she would say, "Oh my God," we would talk about the night before. And I remember one time saying, "Oh my God, I woke up and it was M&Ms.
All
All
over.
over the floor.
And you don't remember eating them.
All over the floor. Don't remember eating them. No.
Oh
But so
my
what would
God.
happen to me is I would get really hungry.
Right.
But again, the girl who's like constantly restricting calories, there'd be no fucking food in my house.
Right.
So
Oh, shit.
I would get home and be hungry. And if we didn't stop and get $1 New York City pizza on the
Right,
way
right.
home,
You went to the
I'd get
bodega.
to my apartment, be starving, and go back out. Meanwhile, this friend of mine is like, "Maxine, you need to stop going out. Like, you need to, when you get
'Cause
home."
you lived in Hell's Kitchen,
Yes,
right?
lived in Hell's Kitchen. And I mean, in the 2000s in Hell's Kitchen,
was
it was starting
okay,
to,
but-
now it's like super trendy
Right,
and everything.
right. But
It
it was
had
starting
made the
to be
transition
okay. Yeah,
to
it was
being a
better.
reasonably safe
Yeah, it was
place.
reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. But so they used to say to me, my friend of mine used to walk me home and like put me in my apartment and say, "Don't come back out. You are in for the night. I don't want to."
It's still New York City. I mean,
Yeah. She's like, "I don't want drunk Maxine.
Right.
Do you have everything you need in your apartment for tonight?"
And you would still
and I would
call out.
constantly think, and then I'd get home and be like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine." Get ready, get out of my, clothes, get into my pajamas. And then I'd be like,
Fuck,
"Oh,
I'm hungry."
God, I'm hungry. And then I go look in my kitchen and I'm like, "Nope, nothing, fucking nothing." And I'm like, "You know what? I'm going to the corner deli to get."
bodega.
So I would be going out
shit.
to get, and then whatever it was, it's like that day when I woke up, because my friend was like, "What do you mean? You don't have M&Ms in your apartment?" I'm like, "Well, I do now."
now.
And she was like, "Oh my God, Maxine, that means you got dressed, you went back out and got M&Ms at like 4:00 in the morning."
That's what I want on this podcast later. And I might have to tell one story, but we need one day to have a bodega worker come here and tell us
Oh,
their
God, the
night story at
stories, yeah.
night. How many times did I go to the bodega, have pajamas, fucking drunk as a skunk to buy cigarettes.
Yes.
Like, you look like shit. Or another, you had a fight with your boyfriend. You got mascara down to here. I mean, the stories, the bodega workers, the night workers must have amazing.
Crazy stories.
Amazing. But if I may, about drinking calories before we move on to resolution, because that's a classic in our family. So Brooks's mom, Mrs. Miller, whom I love, she's my mother-in-law, but I call her Mrs. Miller. She never said, call me Karen. So there you go, after 25 years. And we're really good friends. So, and she's a very, very intelligent woman. She's an intellectual, and she's half Norwegian. So one of the things we did when she turned 70, she wanted to go to Norway to dig out her ancestors, right? She wanted to go to a cemetery where half our people are buried, and we're going to check out the tombs.
Yes.
So love Mrs. Miller. There's no way we're going to spend a fucking month with her. So we were going to do 2 days here, 2 days there. But one of the things we promised is to go with her on a little cruise, shall we say, in Norway. We were starting from the top of Norway and going down for a couple of days. Now, this cruise is a cargo boat, a cargo ship.
Oh, okay.
That goes into the fjords.
Yeah.
I'm not a cruise person, so that's the only reason I accepted to do that. Because otherwise I'd be like, no, it's not my thing. But they go in the fjords and to bring supplies to fishermen villages that have no roads, and also science village. You know, they have like, they're studying climate change.
Okay.
And that's the only way they can get us through boats. And they're like, holy shit, we got good views. Let's slap a couple of cabins on this thing. So it's not like the Love Boat. Like you're wearing like a rain jacket. Like we had the deluxe suite, Brooks and I, and we had 2 cots made out of stainless steel side by side and a window, right? And it was so loud, like because we're in the bottom of the ship, it goes, Brooks didn't sleep. Now, I drank my way through it and loved it. Now, we're sitting at dinner, and dinner is basically, you have the smorgasbord because you're in Norway, and that's it. Like, it's not like a cruise, okay? You know what I'm saying? It's a cargo
ship. So you eating on the boat?
Oh, yeah. We're on there for 4 days.
Oh,
so,
wow.
But as I said, it's not like a cruise like you're thinking about. So you need to have your gear and ready to go, like in case of an emergency, and that's it. So we're eating, and so there's a lot of drinking for me because it's Norway in the summer, it's daylight all the time, and you're on a fucking boat in a North Pole. It's gorgeous, but it's, you know, there's not that much to do. And back then I was not a knitter. So what else am I going to do? Drink. So I was. And so one day we're sitting at dinner table, and Mrs. Miller can eat like a trucker. She's small, but she just can pound it back, right? So she asks Brooks, certainly we should have another serving. So she's going to go have more food. And I was drinking. So, you know, when you say something, you're like, take it back, but it's too late.
So you can't
so
undo, send.
I go, Mrs. Miller, another plate? Now, some kind of asshole says that. So you know what she said to me? She goes, well, I might be eating my calories, Isabelle, but you certainly drink yours. Touche, Mrs. Miller. So that was like, so that's my reputation on that side of the family.
Drinking the calories.
Drinking the calories.
You know, and it's funny because when you think about, like, can you imagine how many women in the world? I'm only saying this because I am a woman, and I have heard a lot of people talk about this, but I'm sure it's more than women. Go into January thinking, I want to be a healthier body. I want to have a healthier body, right? And here's something that is so crazy when you think about it this way. You go into your resolution or January and you're talking about, I'm going to work out more.
Right.
I'm going to eat healthier. The bottom line is you cannot, you know, vegetarian, Peloton, meditate your way out of
something.
You can't.
You have to understand why you want to change whatever. Like, why, or why is it that I'm not working out? Why is it that I'm not working? Instead, I think of saying, I need to work out more.
Yeah.
You have to be like, why am I not?
But and the other thing is,
why am I not moving?
Why
maybe
am I
maybe working out is not the answer. Maybe you should go for hikes. Maybe that'll
correct.
work.
It's finding the thing that you love. But but it's the same thing. Like with you and I have talked about this before too. It's like you can be doing all of these healthy things, and then you wash it down
with booze,
with alcohol. Right. It's like you're sabotaging the work that you're doing. You're also undoing the good work that you're doing on a constant basis. Right. But I have been reading more and more about like the failure of goals and the failure of New Year's resolutions and habits. And it's because they're not realistic, right? And I feel like so many of us, I know for me, I would go into January with these crazy, absurd goals of I am going to lose 20 pounds.
Right.
I am going to not drink alcohol. I am going to eat no sugar and no fat. And it's just bullshit ridiculousness of extremes instead of reframing how you think about something. And with a clear head, I have been able to do that
Right.
in the last year, is look at the things, not that I want to stop doing, but think about what do I like doing? What is
Right.
good for me that I like doing? And where do you find time to do that? Because it's the same with, gosh, moderation. It's when you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm only going to have 2 glasses of wine. You're setting yourself up for this negative
Right.
mindset.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
going to deprive myself of wine for this amount of time
Right.
versus I am going to give myself this gorgeous glass of NA wine. It's like we don't
And
give
plus,
enough
yeah.
focus to the mental, the language, the mindset.
And I also am of the camp, and obviously I'm not a doctor, I'm not a neurosurgeon, I'm not an addiction specialist. It's just my opinion. I think that the people that are saying, I'm just going to have 2 glasses, and that's a struggle, I think they're probably like I am.
Well,
I don't
no,
think they're
that's
like
not
my mother,
that's not
your
a question.
aunt,
No.
right? You know what I'm saying? Like people like my mom that like drinking, but they can leave it or taking.
Yes.
They'll be like, I'll enjoy that 1 glass, and I'm
Yep.
like, I'm just gonna have. They're
Yep.
like, I'm gonna just
Yep.
that 1 glass. I'm not gonna have any more after that, and it's not a thought.
That is
right?
100% true.
You know, I was never one to make resolutions. It wasn't my style. And the few times that I tried to do like everybody, like let's say everybody around you is like, oh, everybody's always taking resolutions. So you're like, fuck, I should probably do the same thing, right? And I'd be like, all right. And the one thing about me is I'm loads and loads of flaws, but the one thing that I don't have, I'm not bullshit and I don't lie. And I would think, well, I probably should drink less. And I'd be like, that's not going to happen. So forget it.
Right.
Like I just wouldn't bother. I would not bother make that resolution because there was no way. When you're like, oh, you would like they would be like Monday is not a good time. For me, I'd start thinking about it and I'd be like, I cannot see one day in the next foreseeable future where it would make sense for me to not drink. So fuck it. So I just wouldn't get on that boat.
Yes.
So I think for me, the reason resolutions don't work, as I was saying, is like you're saying, it's that negative, like you're doing something bad and you better stop doing it. I think unless you stop enjoying something, or if you're not being clear about it, like you think you're enjoying alcohol, but are you really? And if you start thinking, am I really? And that's when I did that. And then I realized maybe I'm not as much as I thought I was. Maybe I'm just drinking to not feel like shit because I'm addicted to it now, right? And then you're like, well, I don't want to do that. So I think a lot of people are taking resolutions and like you're saying on a negative tone instead of saying, am I really enjoying doing this?
Yes.
If the answer, yeah, I really am, fuck it, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
But here's another one of my aunts, different aunt, who is also now hasn't had alcohol in, I don't know, 10, 15 years. Same thing, like super successful woman, never, wasn't in rehab, didn't lose jobs, kept her family, like an amazing.
And why did she stop?
She tells the story of how one of her kids said to her, "You're embarrassing when you're drunk."
Oh, was she embarrassing though?
I mean, I don't ever recall that, but I was probably drunk with her.
Right,
so
right.
it didn't matter to me.
Right,
I just
right.
like, oh, that's so much fun. But she was like, it cut her to the bone.
Wow.
When a child said you drink too much, and when you drink too much, you're embarrassing. But she said to me this mic drop. Like, this is so fucking crazy when you hear this simple sentence.
What'd she say?
She said, if you ask yourself the question, should I be drinking less? The answer is yes.
Yes.
If you've reached a place in your relationship with alcohol where you're questioning if you should drink less, the answer is yes.
Absolutely. Because everybody I know that truly doesn't have an issue with alcohol has not
They've never ever thought about that question. They have never thought about that question. So, and can I tell you, I wish there were fucking data on this.
Right.
But think about how many people in your life, my life, that I know that have asked themselves that question.
95%.
Most people have said, ooh, am I drinking too much?
Yes.
I don't think I know a person who doesn't say that.
Most people
My husband doesn't say that, but
not all, but most people I know have drank when they did not want to.
yes,
Right?
yes,
Regardless of a hangover, regardless of a cold, when they're like, they set out to not drink. They're like, I'm not going to drink. And then they do, right? How many things can we think of that you're like, I'm not going to do this, and then you do?
yeah.
Right?
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day because you, talking about like how your body changed over the year
Right.
or more than a year, but like in this past year, um, the changes, the physical changes that have happened to me, you and I have different bodies, different
Types,
body types, right? You have never ever be worried about being too
No.
fat or being overweight or
Well, in
any
my
of that.
head, because my head was sick, but not my
Yes,
body.
yes,
Right,
yes. That's
right,
different
right.
when it's an
That's
when it's an
different.
eating disorder.
Yeah.
I mean, there were plenty of times in my life where I was like, oh my God, absolutely. I'm carrying around 15, 20 pounds, way more than my frame should be carrying.
Right.
And I yo-yoed
Right.
from bulimia and everything else. But the thing, like what happened was, you know, there were people I don't see when I don't play tennis in the
Right.
winter, or I don't play tennis with my summer tennis family, who I saw for the first time after 7 months of not
Right.
drinking. And literally people were like, oh my God, how much weight have you lost? And I was not on any weight loss
Oh,
plan.
God, no.
I mean, I did the 75 hard twice,
But
which
doesn't
requires 2
matter.
workouts
It
a
doesn't
day.
matter because I don't need to lose weight, and I lost weight
Yes.
when I quit
Yeah.
drinking. Like for me, 5 pounds is a lot.
Is a lot. Is a lot.
And
I lost
remember
20, almost 20
yeah,
pounds.
and I remember kind of not freaking out, but we were like, "Fuck, I don't need to lose weight."
Yeah.
But you're right because earlier I was like, when we were off mic, I was like, yeah, like I didn't get that many physical changes, but that's not true because I've always worked out all my life, right?
Yes.
And in the last 15, 17 years, it's been definitely more weight, like muscle building focused.
Yeah, yeah,
Than I don't
which is
run
right.
that much
Yeah.
anymore or anything like that. And I have noticed, and I'm a very big gardener, meaning I do my own thing with like schlepping big bags and stuff. And in the last year, even Brooks was like, holy cow, man, you're muscular.
Yeah.
And then later read that it's very, very difficult to build muscle against alcohol consumption. It does something to the
Yes.
proteins. I mean, it was
Yeah.
super complicated. And he's right. I've noticed that the little bit of workout that I would put in would lead to muscle mass.
Yeah.
Whereas for
Yeah.
the 15 years previously, like if I didn't stay on it, like I would like go right, like it would just like a balloon, like the muscles wouldn't stay on, they would quickly disappear.
Well, because you're defeating all the work.
Correct,
It's
correct.
like you're taking, one step forward and 2 steps
And
back.
that makes me think of health and alcohol. So as I've said, I'm a gardener, like vegetable gardener, which I mix with flowers. That'll be another podcast, but a lot of organic vegetables and all that. And when I was drinking, I remember I would eat these delicious vegetables that we've made ourselves from seeds with our own compost. I mean, you know what's going in it.
Yeah, you're
And I remember thinking, because I used to have diarrhea every day for the last 5 years when I was drinking. And I remember thinking, fuck, I'm flushing all this goodness down the drain. I remember thinking that while I was drinking.
Yeah.
And in the last year, like this summer, I was eating all these delicious vegetables that are full of minerals and vitamins that you cannot find in the store. And the joy of being like is staying with me.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's all
you're
this good
nourishing
effort.
yourself.
Yes.
You're nourishing yourself and you're
Right.
not, as much as I don't ever want this podcast space is not a preachy space. It's not a judging
no.
space, but the facts are the fucking facts
Right.
now. And it is a fact that when you put alcohol in your body, it damages every single cell
it does,
on
right.
some level,
Level, correct.
right? It does.
Right.
So for me, feeling so good, but so the physical changes that happened to me were the weight loss. But this was the other thing and I'm about to go for my annual OBGYN
Right.
checkup. I don't know whether it was perimenopause or menopause or what kind of
Menopause place you were
whatever
in.
menopause place I was in, but the
You were in a
sweating at
pause.
night
Oh,
shit was like,
yeah.
I was like, God,
That's the worst.
damn it. It's
That's the
completely
worst.
gone.
Is it completely gone?
Completely
'Cause
gone.
I was menopause
And
at
I have
40.
taken no medication for
Wow.
it. I have, and it wasn't crazy. It wasn't every night.
No, but it's unpleasant when it
but it was
happens.
really, really unpleasant.
Right.
So that went away.
Wow.
The other thing that I agree, with you, I don't suddenly think I look 20 years younger.
Right.
Although I do have you heard about this Hume health scale?
No.
So it's a weighing scale. It's like, oh my God, my ADHD is showing right now. It's like fucking all over the place. Like, stay on topic. But the Hume weighing scale, it's like it's one of those, you know, when you go into fancy gyms and you hold this thing and it gives the body breakdown and everything. So this is an at-home version of this. I mean, it's fantastic because Andrew tested it because he gets it done in his gym.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it's a $5,000 machine that they use in there. And this thing is $150.
And it was accurate.
It was really close.
Wow.
It was really close. So
it gives you like your water composition, your
but
fat
here's the other
composition.
fun thing it does. It gives you your metabolic age based on your fat content and your,
Well, I want to know my
I am absolutely aging backwards, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Right now I'm 42.
What?
Yeah.
I need to know my metabolic age.
Yeah.
I want
It's
it.
great. Listen,
Okay, I'm gonna
and
get
even if it's not that accurate, I think it's fucking
even if it's
so good. When you step on that and it's like, you have the metabolic age of a 41-year-old right now. I'm like, yeah, baby.
I love that.
So that has definitely changed. I don't feel like I suddenly have less wrinkles
Are you not feeling? I used to feel greasy. My face used to get greasy all the time, and I used to have breakouts. That's gone.
No, I have never ever, had skin issues.
Right. I did not, but I would have this greasy feel and skin breakouts.
But we're getting older, and I am one of those people who, like, I will buy all the creams, all the serums, all the shit,
Botox.
but I would never do. I'm too scared. I'm like, I will be the person who's got fucking paralysis.
I'm gonna have that's what I'm like. I'll have an allergic reaction. My face is gonna blow up like a balloon.
Absolutely not. And then can you imagine that's the reason you're deformed? You were so vain.
Oh my God, that's so funny. We have that in common. It's not so much like the deformity, but I'm like the explaining that you're such an
yes, I am so vain
because of
that I now have a melt.
Me too, right? I was like, the embarrassment of having, at least if you got in a fucking car accident and you're disfigured, it's one thing. But if you're like, I did Botox.
No, I had botulism injected into my face, hoping that it would make me look younger.
And it went sideways.
And for what?
Yeah,
fucking purpose.
And no judgment to all my friends.
Again, this is a no judgment space.
All my friends have it. My friends have it done.
Go.
Right?
I went for a massage the other day, and one of the women this lady that I love, and she was like, wow, you're one of the few people that come in here that has not got fucking Botox in her face. And I'm like, how can you tell?
I'd be like, wait, I don't know if I should be.
I'm like, what? Is it because I'm that wrinkly? And she was like, no, your face just looks so normal. Like you just look like a normal person.
But at this point, you know what? Like once someone told me that, they meant
you don't get Botox. And they're complimenting you.
They said to me, and it was a compliment, but you're like, oh, and it was in a cocktail. They're like, I can tell you're au naturel. And you're like,
wow.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't get any work done. I was like, okay. Well, like, you're like, oh, well.
But you know what? I want to give a shout out to the women with major platforms who talk about this.
Right.
I remember my mother, when my mother was so fucking beautiful, like just drop dead gorgeous.
I can imagine. You are very beautiful.
Thank you. But in a very, like she was blonde, blue-eyed, like just incredibly, incredibly gorgeous inside and out.
Right.
But she would look in the mirror, and this is society. Yeah. This is society
and
that she was living in. Pick herself apart. And I remember being a little girl and how this has impacted me.
Right.
I think there's a spectrum of body dysmorphia that people live in, and I'm 100% on it.
Right.
It's taken a long time in my life for me to go, you know what? You are an attractive person, and you are like, for a long time, I was like, wow, people are fucking stupid.
Most women are on it.
Most people are on it. And
even
it depends
men.
again where you are on the spectrum. But I remember this vision. I remember my mother standing in front of the mirror and taking her hands and going like this, like pulling her skin back and going, if I was like this, you see this, if it would just be better if I was like that. And I remember being a little girl looking at her going, you're so perfect. Beautiful. Yeah. Like you're so amazing. And that's just the world that we live in. Right. And now we live in the world of, I mean, thousands of people have talked about this. My daughter is growing up in a world with fucking TikTok.
Yes.
And people who have filters, they're literally not real.
No,
it's like their faces and their skin and now this trend where teenagers are obsessed with skincare. I'm like, I need you to wash your face. That is all I need you to do.
That's it.
The one thing my mother taught me when I was a teenager, which I have done every single day of my life since, is moisturize twice a day.
That's
End of
it.
sentence. That is all you have
But
to do.
that's funny. But speaking, that ties in with booze because I did tell that to my husband Brooks, like maybe several months ago. I feel as though, and maybe it's old age kicking in, right? But it's not like I got so much older in 1 year. But I feel as though I'm way more accepting of myself
Yes.
since I quit drinking.
100%.
And it can't just be old age wisdom in 1 year.
No, it is not.
You
It
know
is
what I mean?
absolutely related to not drinking.
It's got to be because I'm much less. It's not that I'm finding myself so beautiful or anything, but I'm much more like, let's say there's something I don't like about myself,
Yes.
right? We all have those.
Yeah.
It's not so much of a focus. I'm just like, well, it is what it is. You have
Yes.
big fucking teeth, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you have nice cheekbones. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's not like it doesn't get me.
You're
like,
not so hard on
hating
yourself.
myself about
But
it.
because,
Right.
and I think that is just all about where our, someday we need like scientists on here with
We
us.
do.
We need Annie Grace,
Oh my
which I
God.
need to get back and talk to you about
Right.
her in a moment. But the whole idea of your brain is just more balanced.
I think that's what it is.
It's like your
I think that's
head
what
is
it
looking at things in a much more
Correct.
rational way. And instead of
Yes.
looking and going, oh, for fuck's sake, look at the way your hair is, look at the way
Right.
your eyes are, look at the way your freckles are. You're not thinking that way.
And
So you're
it's a-
not saying it to
And it's
yourself.
the first time I realized it. I was like, oh, I don't think alcohol is giving me anxiety like it does others. But maybe that's what it was. Your brain is anxious and it's grabbing on something
Yes.
to justify
Yes.
it. So in my case, it was like, well, that's ugly and that's the line.
It's the imbalance,
Right,
it's
correct.
the imbalance. But so one of the other things when I was thinking about how my body, how I physically changed,
Mhm.
was a completely surprising thing as a singer. My singing voice, where I didn't realize I was struggling with things before, and I'm
Dehydration.
well, dehydration
Of
for
the
sure.
vocal
But listen,
box.
when you talk about there was nothing that would stop you from drinking.
Right.
I would drink when I'm on cold medicine. I would drink sometimes on
Absolutely.
antibiotics, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
There was I would not drink before singing because
Got it.
it's
No,
like
but I think you're chronically dehydrated when we drink.
but yes, and even if you're drinking a couple of days before,
Yes.
now I'm like, oh, it's so much easier to hydrate my body because I'm
Right.
not starting from a place of dehydration.
Right, right.
So that was another like physical thing that really, really changed for me.
Well, speaking of which, and that ties into NA wine, it's really funny about throat. And so I've had a chronic throat ache, and it's finally gone away, but for like maybe a month and a half or two.
a throat ache.
Yeah, like it's on one side and then when on the other side. And obviously I'm thinking, oh my God.
Okay, that's
I
really
have
funny because
throat
anybody who tells
cancer.
me they've got something wrong with their throat and they're near me, I'm like backing off.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
it's
no,
like,
no, it's not
I
like
joke.
a
I joke
virus.
with my husband all the
Yeah.
time. That's like life with a singer, where one person sneezes and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
No. So I was like, I have throat cancer because I smoke so much and I drank so much, and I went to the doctor and I don't have throat cancer, and she was like, right. So she was like, she looked in, and when she took the tube out, they have to put the
Yeah,
tube,
yeah.
and it's so fucking, ugh.
Ugh, it's
So when she
awful.
took it out, I kid you not, she was like, I don't see any lesions. And she goes, but, and I stopped, and I was like, if you're telling me that I cannot drink my bottle of NA wine a day, I don't fucking want to know. That's what I thought. I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. She started laughing. She's like, no, I think the alcohol is worse than the acidity of, it turns out it was just, I have postnasal drip. It's fine.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like
yeah.
30 seconds, I thought, if the acidity on my NA wine is the culprit, I put my foot down.
I'm
man.
going to just live with
I'm
it.
not giving it up. I've fucked that. I'm not taking drugs. I've given up alcohol. I've given up cigarettes. If God is taking this shit away, he's taking me with it. And that's it.
You're like, I will die on my NA sword.
That's right. Hey, who needs an NA poster child?
Yeah,
I'll do
we
it.
got you. We got you,
Oh
babe.
my God, that's funny. So what else do you find as like improved? Like your skin is better, your voice is better, your
Yes.
weight is stable, your
Yep.
moods are stable, your
Yeah,
mornings are great,
my-
your sleep.
My sleep. Oh my gosh, my sleep.
It's like being dead.
It's now, I definitely still am a person who has to pee in the middle of the night, but
Oh,
I
you do?
think
But
that is
that's fine.
also the
It's
age
menopause,
I am,
yeah.
but I sleep so much better. It's unbelievable.
For me, it's
How
like
much
I'm
better
going
I
for an
sleep.
operation. It's
Yeah.
like, when you get a
You're like
colonoscopy, they put you
out.
out. That's it. I'm out. Like if something happens, God bless, man.
Yeah.
I'm out. By the way, speaking of which, my husband was a little upset. He listened to few of our episodes is like you talk about your mom, your dad, me. You've talked about your sister. You've mentioned your brother, and you've never mentioned Mo. Shout out to Mo. Mo's our dog. So he's very upset.
I hope Mo is listening.
No, of
and
course he is.
Hope he has subscribed and followed us
And
on
Mo
all
had
our
to give
social
up-
media channels.
He had his own challenges to give up. Mo had to give up a couple of things for health-wise purposes.
What things?
So Mo
Please tell
is-
me you weren't giving the dog alcohol.
No, but he thought about it. No, Mo had to give up. Mo has to give up anything dry because he's allergic to storage mice.
Oh my
So
god.
no dry food, which he doesn't really eat, but like no treats. And
He's
no-
also like Win.
And by
Dogs
the way,
don't like
I'm
dry food.
How does that happen? So I'm allergic to everything because I'm inbred. Typical French Canadian. You look at our family tree. Brooke says it's a bush.
Yeah.
All the trees, all the branches are touching each other, right? This dog has got 15 breeds in it. He's an American mutt. How the hell does he end up with this fucked up allergies?
Oh
I think
my
he's
gosh.
doing on purpose. 'cause
Maybe he
only
wants extra
He
sympathy.
wants just fresh foods and whipped cream and
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
too is on his journey.
Oh, well, Mo's a good dog.
Shout out, Mo.
Shout out, Mo. It's funny you talk about the inbred thing because I joke all the time when people say to me, "God, your kids are amazing.
Right.
Like they're so talented and they're so, great at school." And I'm always like, diversify that gene pool, friends.
That's right. That's what you got to do.
That is my advice to you.
That's right.
My lineage and Andrew's lineage
Are you
literally
inbred
have
too?
never met.
No, that's it. But that's the way to do
Literally.
it.
I mean,
That's the way to do
there's
it.
no way those
No,
lines
that's
have
right.
ever crossed before our two children.
Same with Brooks
Yeah.
and I, except I chose that I didn't want to have kids. So
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
too bad for that.
Yeah.
that philosophy. So I let my people keep doing cousins with cousins, right? But anyways, that's a different subject. Now all the French Canadians are canceling me. There's 8 million people.
Oh my God. Oh, and by the way, we just got the data from where all the subscribers and listeners are coming.
Right.
So many of them are coming from Canada.
Are they?
Yeah.
So are
Yeah.
they French or English Canadian?
I know. I should think French Canadian.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just lost a
I
big...
mean, not
take it back.
surprisingly-
Okay, I take it back. Inbreeding is only in my family, not the rest of my
You're like,
province.
Quebec, we love you. Montreal, we love you. No, it is actually, it's not surprising
It's
because
probably
you're
my
a French
sister.
Canadian.
Oh, but my sister is like the queen of Quebec. Like, you don't understand. Like, she's on everything.
Okay, so she's
she's
just
super
telling everybody to
famous.
watch this.
That's it.
But
Oh my God,
French
thank you,
Canada
Ed.
and Ireland are our biggest listeners. Our
No,
two
I'm
biggest.
telling you, my sister
yeah.
Farrah Fawcett, that's her. Like, she's really, really famous up there. She's like a big...
Love her. I can't wait to
she's-
meet her.
She's one of the top business women in Canada. She won an award, everything.
Yeah.
I had to leave. I was an embarrassment. They're like, get the fuck out
shut
of here,
up.
man.
You and your self-deprecation.
But,
so
anyways.
Annie Grace. I wanted to go back
Yes.
to Annie Grace.
Oh, yeah.
Because what book was it you were just talking about?
The Naked Mind of
Oh, it
Annie
was
Grace?
This Naked Mind. You
Yeah.
said a different name a minute ago.
About which? Oh, the Dopamine Nation, maybe?
No, I'm not. Was there another Annie Grace book or
No, that was it.
Oh, I thought you called it a different name
No.
because I don't know if I ever told you this.
What?
That was the book that changed it for
Oh,
me.
that was the book that changed it for me.
So my friend, a friend of mine here, gave me that book to help me understand addiction in my family, right?
Interesting.
To help me understand my relationship with my brother, to help me
Right.
understand what he was going
So
through.
it was not for
She
your
lost
drinking.
her sibling
Mm-hmm.
to a heroin overdose.
Oh, God.
And she said to me, she was like, Maxine, you will get so much out of this book.
wow.
And I read that book, and when I read it, I realized it was that what you just said. I couldn't unlearn what I had
What
now been exposed to, and it helped me not only understand alcohol in other people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me understand alcohol in society,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped me understand alcohol in my life.
That's what it is for
And
me,
it was
too.
like, so if there's any book you're going, and next year,
Mm-hmm.
or in the next episodes, we're going to start talking about books that we've read because
Right.
a lot of people have asked me, what books would you recommend? If you want to
Mm.
start reading some quick literature,
Right.
what would you choose?
Right.
That to me was the first
That
book
was the
for
one
me.
for me.
That was the
Same.
book that sent me off on my
Same.
journey of learning more about living alcohol free.
That was the same for me. That's the book that made me quit.
Yeah.
And after that, I read other books to kind of branch out. And she references other books
Yes.
too.
And that's the great thing.
right.
Most of the books I read were by women.
Right.
And they often reference other women. But before we wrap up today, because we're talking about resolutions and January and how I just don't, I don't have resolutions this year.
Me neither.
I have goals of things that I want to do.
Like what?
And, well, you know, oh gosh, I mean, I can't wait to do my first U2 symphonic show. Like, and
Oh.
I'm putting that on my radar for this year, and we're getting closer and getting closer. But like things in my career, like I have lots of
Got it.
career goals. I want to continue with this podcast. I want to keep growing this podcast family. I want to keep getting better at tennis.
Right.
And so this is a book that I read also that changed everything for me. It's got nothing to do with alcohol. It's called Atomic Habits. I mean, it's the world famous book. I mean,
Okay.
it's the number one times bestseller for I don't even know how long. Like it was
Right.
insane. James Clear is the author. But what was so brilliant about that book was it was just so simple. The whole book is about, it's called Atomic Habits. The little teeny tiny habits that you do every day. And you think about, instead of saying, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year, or I'm going to quit drinking alcohol completely this year, you say, this week, I'm going to do this. And it's an achievable, manageable, small thing that if you do it, and his whole book is based on this, you put one block on top of another block on top of another block, and you suddenly have a fucking building.
Right. Makes
But
sense.
you didn't even know that you were building the building.
Right.
And those things, you know, I'm obsessed with tennis. I only started to really properly learn how to play tennis less than 5 years ago. And it's one of those things, someone asked me, is there something that you've done incrementally that now you're like, oh shit, I remember. And tennis is that
Was
for me.
one of them.
Like I remember being in the absolute beginner tennis group when I would go to clinics. And now I'm like, I'm in the, oh, she's a pretty good tennis player. And it took 5 years.
Right.
And it's like those, so instead of us always at the beginning of a year going, I am going to reach Mount Everest by the end of January, it's like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like for me, that was the most successful thing for me, was picking something small and doing it. Now, saying no to alcohol was a massive milestone, and it is an Everest for a lot of people. But all of the other things that we keep thinking about doing in January and through the rest of the year, it's like reframe it and think about something small that's great for you that you can do, instead of making this huge leap to, I've got to stop doing this for the rest of my life.
Or if I know, like, I think also one of the reasons that I don't have resolutions, I've always been, for me, in the main mind frame that my life is really great for me.
Yes.
It's not, I'm sure other people will look at it and be like, you could be richer, you could, but I really love it. And I just want to keep what I have.
You're happy as fuck.
I'm happy as so I'm always, when I pray, you know, I'm not religious, but or when I wish for something, I just don't want to lose what I have.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like,
oh my God, it's that Benson Boone song. Please don't, these beautiful things that
there you go. I just don't want to lose what I have. I want to keep it going.
Don't take it away, right?
Don't take it away.
But that's a level of gratitude for what you have, because we do live in a world where it's more.
And think about it, you know, oftentimes, like when you know, we all have periods in our lives that we struggle and stuff like that. And I would think, let's say I would think or pray or whatever, I would simply be saying, you know, it's not what I have. So just make sure that I always feel happy.
Yes.
Make sure I just feel happy because you know, you can have everything and not be happy, and then what's the fucking point, right?
No, oh my gosh.
I feel good. I just want to always feel good no matter what is around me, right?
Well, and here's the thing.
So that's what I want.
Removing alcohol from your life has helped that so much. Same for me.
Yes.
And it's something in a world where we have no control over so much.
Correct.
You have 100% control over what is in your glass.
Correct.
Every single
and in your
day.
Body.
And what you're drinking and what you're eating is with we live in a very privileged society.
Yes.
That we have control of what we put in our bodies. We're not scrounging for food. We have and it's little things like that. And I think it's again, it's a clarity. It's an inner happiness. Like I walking around in the snowy Vermont, sometimes I'm like, it is so beautiful. I can't even get over it.
Right.
Like looking at a goddamn icicle the other day. And I was like, that icicle is so perfect.
Right. And that leads to stop looking at social media, everybody.
Well, yeah.
Stop thinking everybody has got it better than you do.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But it's finding the inner happiness, right? I mean, that's the life quest.
Yeah.
God, it's like we're like the fucking Dalai Lama over here.
Oh shit. I mean, look at me. I'm fucking Gandhi.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for listening, everybody. It is true what you see here. We have this much fun together. We just have a good time. That you're on the journey with us. We are so grateful. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing and sharing. Please, please, please keep sending us your comments, your stories. Give us things to talk about. Like we're excited to like talk about your thoughts and your struggles and your successes. So thank you. I'm Maxine, happy alcohol free.
I'm Isabelle. I'm happy as fuck. And be kind to yourself. Stop with the resolutions that make no sense.
Yeah, be kind. We love you. See you next time.
Have a good one.